It's the activated new bright 10. This video is going to be on why the black community is so broken. What's going on? Really look around, and you a carbon coded being. Look around and see what's going around in your community and why it's so broken and why it's in the state of emergency that it's in. Yeah, social media, television, it plays a part. But where's the source at? Where's the source? The source is sitting right inside your head, above your nose, in your cranium. That will always be the source. Your mind will always be the source. Your mind will always be the source. So when you're dealing with these TV shows, you watch these TV shows, they pumping all the propaganda on how the so-called black man ain't nothing. He don't take care of his children. You know, all this stuff they pump inside the black woman's head. But see, when you look at these other communities that are out here, and we got a big Somalian community in Minnesota. You notice that I notice about their women? Their women are always quiet. They're always observative. And they're always submissive. No matter what's going on, they still got a community. No matter what's going on in their personal relationship or their personal life with their husband or their sister wives, they're still going to build their community. And I use the Somalians up here in Minnesota as an example because they do got a nice community. They have a nice community. They got a couple of grocery stores. They got restaurants. They got a couple of corner stores. And see, they build it. And the only reason why that they're building is because their wife or wives stick around to support their man no matter the default. No matter the default, they still stick around and they support their husband on the agenda at hand to build their children's life with a balance. That's why they're building their community quicker than the so-called black race up here in Minnesota and in Minneapolis and in St. Paul and the Twin Cities. They're building quick. They're building quick. You know why? That's why. Because their wives stick around. They don't get emotional. Detached from their husband, dealing with their friends, with other people in their community. They use their mind. They use their mind to a capacity where it benefits their family and it benefits their community. That's why they are growing. That's why they are building. They are building structures. And if a structure is already built, they will build inside of it. To move what forward? Their community. Move what forward? Their children. Because that selfish mindset. I did that video on I did a video on selfish black women, just being selfish. And I had this one sister, she commented and she was like, she said something about something, going on that so-called black woman rant. And she had went on, and then at the end of her comment, she said, so you can go stick your views up your ass. See, this is what black men have to deal with. This is what so-called black men have to deal with. They have to deal with this mindset that's already been embedded in them because they already have that independent mind frame where I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I don't need a man to do this. I don't need a man to do that. Yeah, you do. You do. You need a man. But see, when you're dealing with these corporations, this educational system and these corporations, and you dealing with that, and women go into these systems and they understand that they really don't need a man for um, existing. Anybody can exist. I don't need a man because I'm just existing. I'm paying my bills. You're taking care of your children, but you're not raising them. What does raising them means? Taking care of them, taking them to go get clothes, ask them to use your card so they could put some money on roadblocks, um, go buy them an iPhone, this and that. That's not raising your children. That's taking care of them. That's taking care of your children, but you're not raising them. What do I mean by raise them? You have to raise their mindset. That's where the term raise came from, because all this stuff played out into the future. Everything has to be raised mentally. You have to get them mentally prepared for society, not physically prepared for society. Because if they're mentally prepared for society, right, then the physical aspect will come with the maximum capacity of mental extension and survival within your home system. And then when that sister had made that comment on my post, I already know that they're emotionally unbalanced. Uh, um, when you're dealing with stats, because all my stats are not totally accurate, but they're close. So when you're dealing with stats, majority of the so-called black women, there's a good 94, between 94 and 97% that have an emotional, mental dysfunction and don't want to seek help for it. So when she made that comment, and then I had made another comment after she had made the comment. I'm not going to go all into the comments, but I'm just using this as an example. And then the last comment I made was, well, are you married? When I made that last comment, I was expecting for her to comment after that. What did she do? She didn't comment. See, because when you're dealing with an intelligent man, an intellectual man, when you're dealing with a man such like myself, when you're dealing with that, we go to the boundaries where black women don't want to go. We're going to go there because being pacified since the 1960s, you've been pacified. You've been pacified to be independent women. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong to go to school, get an education, go through certain things in your life where you can balance everything out and be successful in your personal life. Because your personal life and your job are two different things. You can mix them on some aspect. You can mix your lives. I mean, your business with your personal to some degree. But when that luncheon's over, when that luncheon's done, when that farewell party's done in your business, when somebody retires, when all that's done and said, you still go home to your house. That is either being occupied by a man or it's not being occupied by a man. Simple as that. Simple as that. So that's why I asked her, are you married? And when I asked her was she married, she said, nothing. You know what you heard? You heard those ghost town. Those ghost town, remember when they used to show them the movies, the ghost town, you see that haystack blowing across the street and wasn't nobody in town? That's what her comment was. It was nothing. No comment for that. Because when you're dealing with, see, this is for the so-called black women, conscious women. See, when you're dealing with evolution and you're dealing with When people are talking about evolution, you guys are talking about everything else. You're talking about spirituality. You're talking about solar flares. You're talking about, well, now they're starting to talk about the DNA, right? You're talking about meditation, manifestation. But you know what they ain't talking about? Husbands. They ain't talking about that, though. They ain't talking about husbands. They're talking about everything else, because when you're dealing with this so-called awakening or being woke, this is one of the steps to that. Breaking that mindset, so-called black women mindset, like their vagina don't have to be kept up, like their shit don't stink, like everybody owes you something in this society for you to just be put on a pedestal because you got melanin in you. Fuck melanin. Nobody give a fuck about no goddamn melanin. Yeah, hey, I said it. What's in your mind? What's in your mind? What are you doing to move a community forward? What are you doing to build? No, not even move a community, because black people don't have no goddamn community, man. What are you doing to build a community to move forward? See this melanin and this carbon and all this stuff, putting these people on a pedestal just because you have a carbon genetic in you, and you think that you're entitled and you're a queen. What are you a queen of? You know what queens run? Queens run what queens run. They run behind the king. That's what a queen does. They run behind the king. The king runs the society. The queen sits back and she observes the society. And if the king falls, then the queen needs to get another king in a seat so the society can keep running. And as soon as you put the queen in the seat, what happens? I'm going to give an example. Look at the Queen of England, right? Financially running the world, banking systems, right? But look at the world, the condition it's in, and who's in the seat running that system, allegedly. It's the Queen of England. That's what happens when you don't have a king. That's what happens. Using the term boss, I'm my own boss. I'm my own queen. I'm all this. And at the same time, you seeing your people get gunned down in the street by the police. You seeing your people that live in your neighborhood, their sons being gunned down by their own peers. And you still think this is a game to be sitting around and be acting like, oh, I don't need nothing. I don't need nobody. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I'm gonna give you an example. This for the cocky, self-centered black woman that think that she don't need a husband in her life. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Why you think you don't need nothing? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because when the pandemic hit, right? Everything was shut down for what, 3 months, 2.5 months, 3 months. I'm not sure on the stats, but everything was shut down as far as leisure time, private time, outside doing certain things in certain buildings and certain establishments. That was shut down, right? But everything got shut down. Walmarts, grocery stores. You know what an intellectual man is going to say to a woman like you? When everything does shut down, you know what we're going to say to you? You didn't need nobody. You didn't need those trucks being drove in and filling up your grocery store that's 4 blocks down your house, right? You didn't need nobody to come when your electricity, when the lightning hit, boom, motherfucking lightning hit, right? You didn't need no electricity. You didn't need nobody to come fix that. So you didn't need nobody to do that either, did you? Oh, okay. Your car breaks down. You didn't need nobody, because the thing about this is the thing about black women. Not all. I'm not talking to all black women, but there's more out there with this mindset. There's more out there with this mindset. So you don't need nothing from nobody, especially a man, especially a husband. See, when you start talking about husband, marriage, see, they see what happens is they avoid those questions. They start avoiding those questions because they know in the back of their head they do need one. But they know also in the back of their head that they're not mentally ready to have one. See, they know that too. I'm gonna give you an example. I got a friend, an associate, not really a friend, but an associate, right? And their mother, this a female. Her mother is like 65 years old, no man in the house, right? Right, no man in the house. She's 65. She still does her thing. Whatever she does in her private life, that's fine. But I know for a simple fact, women, I'm not even talking about her. I'm talking about women in general. I know that they still having sex. They still doing that. But they don't need no man, and you was raised by that woman. That woman raised you. So now you're 43 with no man in your house. And see, this is the part of the age of Aquarius. This is the part of the age of Aquarius also. See, conscious people, especially so-called black females, they don't want to talk about this part of Aquarius. They want to talk about everything else dealing with Aquarius, but the simple fact that having a husband in your house and being somebody that's going to ride with that person no matter what's the situation, what they're going through. I'm gonna give you an example. I tell this, because some people, they contact me. I done did a lot of Dr. Phil work for free. I done did majority of the work that I do is for free, and I done did Dr. Phil work for free. This woman, this sister called me, and she was asking me. She said, "Well, what should I do?" She was like, I got three children, and for some reason it's just that I'm through messing with men, but I'm just so attracted to brothers, this and that. I said, well, one thing you got to do is you got to evaluate and assess your own mind first. What does it take to keep a man? A lot of women don't understand it. A lot of so-called black women don't understand. What does it take to keep a man? A productive man that's willing to put everything on the line to protect you and your children. What do you have to do to keep a man like that? You know what I mean? Simple as that. Your emotions and your belief system. Like I said in the last video, what I did in the last video, when I had said keywords, these are some of the key words that intellectual men hear. When you're dealing with a regular, what do I mean by a regular? A regular is somebody who's mentally on a level where they're satisfied and they're not looking for nothing else to extend them mentally. That's a regular. But when you come across an intellectual, we catch all the words in the phrases. I believe. What I believe is, right? What I think. What I want. We catch all that shit. We really do. Because you're not thinking about the future. You're thinking everything's about the future. Futuritarian, future. See, when you're thinking in the present, this is what comes out your mouth. Stuff like that. What I believe is, what I think, but, see, these key words, but, what I believe, my understanding, see that my, I, me, all that stuff, we catch all that. It's quick. We're analyzing you. We're processing you. Our processor, dealing with an intelligent man, our processors in our mind, they run quick, just like a 2021 computer. It's processing quick. So, dealing with the community. The reason why the so-called black community is in the way it is because there's no men in the house. And if there's a man in the house, he's not there for long. It's temporary. Temporary men. Temporary men being in a household. Your children are seeing this. All your neighbors, everybody's seeing this. I had one female friend, and she was dealing with so many men. Very pretty. She was a very pretty woman. I mean, she still is to this day. I don't talk to her no more. But she had multiple men coming inside, in and out her house. And we were outside one day, and she was like, "I don't know why my neighbor across the street don't like me." And I told her, I said, "Well, the reason why she don't like you is because she's married." See, she didn't like this reality of it because she thinks, so since I'm independent and I'm free, my actions, people are not going to treat me by my actions. No, they are. Her neighbor across the street was married, right? You got all these different men running in and out your house, which she's seeing it. She's directly across the street from you. She's seeing all this shit going on in your house. That's why she don't like you, because she has a husband over there. That's why. She was like, "Oh, she just doesn't like me. I don't know. She hating on me." This and that. I'm like, "No, she doesn't like you because she's seen, the white dude come up in your house, right? She's seen the brother come up in your house, right? She's seen your baby daddy come up in your house, even though she probably figured out that that was your baby daddy. But at the time, she didn't when they first moved over here, because they moved over here before, after she did. She's looking at you like that's a whore across the street. What do you do with a whore, right? You don't do nothing with a whore. Definitely don't marry one. So where's the future of that? Where's the future of all this stuff going to? It goes nowhere. It goes back to the independent, loud black woman mindset that's been set through social media. That's what I'm saying. If you guys are supporting all this stuff on TV, right, and then you want outcomes of a man to be in your life, that is a nice, not even nice man. I don't even want to use the word nice. That is a stand up individual, financially, mentally, socially, um, business like, career like, anything like that, then you're going to have to put your stuff on the table. And a lot of your past, you're going to have to erase it. You're going to have to erase your past to keep some balance inside your household. See, all these women, all these conscious women talking about balance of the universe and balance this and balance that, but ain't no balance in their household, though. Now, I'm not talking to the ones that have balance, that have a husband, that back their husband up, that support their husband or support. I'm not talking to y'all. The ones that get triggered by videos, the ones that get triggered by videos and triggered by stuff that we say, that those are the ones that have the mental issues, because they're going to go in the comments and they're going to make a comment, and they're going to make it off of emotions. They're not going to make it off of thinking. They make it off certain keywords. The keywords, just like we listen to keywords, they do too. So when that woman heard, when she had made a comment on my video and she heard the word selfish, that's all she went off of. She didn't listen to the whole video. Well, most likely she didn't listen to the whole video. She just heard the word selfish and just flew off the handle, because that's what they do. They've been trained that way. A lot of black women have been trained to just break down communities. And all the men that you're talking about that's out here that you can't deal with, I can't trust him, he ain't nothing, he's a deadbeat, this and that. You're raising sons to be the same way. Oh no, I'm not raising sons to be the same way. Yeah, you is, because if there's no man in the house, then they're gonna think that that's fine. They're gonna be, oh yeah, that's fine. My mom didn't do it. My mom didn't have no man in the house, so shit, I could just roam around just like my dad did, and just not even give a care about anything. Yeah, there's a percentage of single women, a small percentage of single women that raise boys on their own that end up being successful. Not talking to y'all. Well, I'm talking to y'all too, because y'all actually just lucked out, because your boy was actually had good genetics in him. He was strong minded, but you still affecting the community though. That's why the community is broken. The community is broken is because there's no man in the household, no husbands in the household. That's why it is. Anybody want to argue about that? If you are smart, at least smart, because a lot of people's not intelligent. That's intelligence is not even in the 10% of the world. It's not. So if you're smart, you understand what I'm saying. And then you can get past your emotions and your own self-centered beliefs, and go find you a husband. That's why I told that lady when she had commented, I'm gonna say it again, because this is the key factor point. The reason why I keep bringing it up, because I gotta say it again, because after I asked her was she married, it was nothing. All you heard, I could have threw a Q-tip at the wall, and y'all would have heard it hit the wall. That's how quiet it was when I asked her was she married. No more comments after that, because that's what it boils down to. It's the activated Futuritarian. Peace, Quazah, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, you get the, like I said, get the subscriptions up, subscribe, share the videos, and we're gonna keep doing our thing. All the intelligent men on the planet, we're gonna still do our thing no matter what, because this is the age of Aquarius, and checking the so-called black females' mentality is a part of the age of Aquarius also.